طيب في الفيديو ده يا رجال انا
سبليتها دي في الفيديو ده هانترفيو جوناثان زافي ادواردز فأسألتكم سيدة الحب Arabs, man. Everyone here, look at that.
What do you think about Mustafa's manners?
Manners? Interesting question. Oh, why do you like?
How do you choose toilet paper over reputation? Fucking retard.
I'm Jonathan Xavier Edwards, and this is, of course,
I'm very known. You don't.
this is, of course,
I don't need an
I'm just giving
introduction.
everyone an introduction.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, this is the almighty Mr. Mustafa.
Let's start with the questions.
Right.
Where are you from?
Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm born in Sydney, Australia. My mother's Japanese and my father's American from California, and we go to college here in Kentucky.
Mr. Worldwide. From Nada Abdullah. بما انك sorry. Since you're American and Japanese and lived in Australia, who is the people that you get along with the most? Australians, Japanese, or Americans, or Egyptians in some way?
Besides Egyptians, of course. That's a tough question. I would say being in Kentucky, since we're already in the US, like pretty much everyone's already American. So if there is an Australian, it's super easy to like say, oh, you're from Australia, and then just make a connection kind of thing. But I've only known 2 Australians since being here.
I don't know any Australians.
Yeah. Like they're
That's
very
okay.
rare, and a lot of them are like either here for like 1 year or something like that, and then they're gone. So definitely, I would say Australians because they're the most unique, and then Japanese. There's been a few Japanese people, but again, sometimes they like move somewhere. And
What's your first impression about Mustafa? How did you think his personality and his mind is like?
first impressions of Mustafa.
You cannot care.
We
You
both
can guess.
we both lived on the same floor first year. I'm pretty sure like most people on the floor, we first heard about this guy after the flooding. I'm sure you guys probably know about that story. If you don't, look at whatever video that's in. He's talked about it a lot of times.
I'm going to put it up
Yeah.
there.
And the link up there. So
Sure.
press that. Yeah.
Sure, Mr. YouTube.
I've got it. Yeah. So about the flooding, kind of a bit of a troublemaker, kind of.
All rumors of the most peaceful motherfucker.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit obnoxious, but like very outgoing. And then sort of as the semester went on, we got to know each other a bit more and became bros basically, and super close since then.
Mustafa, when you first met John, how did you think he is? And what was your impression about him? See, I have a very strong opinion about that. When I first saw Joe, I was like, who the fuck is this K-pop motherfucker? Like, what the fuck? And like,
Wait, you're talking about not swearing and stuff. You're saying it all the
dude,
time.
I can swear.
Oh, you can swear.
When I first met Jonah,
Okay, go ahead.
Jonah had all the girls on the floor running behind him. And that shit made me furious. I was just mad. I was like, this K-pop kid is getting all the girls. Me and Jonah are pretty similar. We're about the same height. I'm just a little bit taller.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, we
Look
do.
at this
I'm
hair.
a little bit
Oh,
taller.
poofy hair.
So we're about the same height. We're about the same build. I'm just stronger in every way. So it's just we're very similar. That it got me feel like
What?
like it's a competition. Yeah, and we have like this crazy story that made us best friends. I'm not gonna say it, but it was pretty bad, huh? And how I see him now, he's my best friend. Like I said that in his birthday. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I said he's the best person I met on this side of the world. So, yep, you're not gonna say.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, an Arabic song you've heard from a friend or in a public place and you liked it. So John is racist. He doesn't have any Arabic songs.
That is not true. That is not true. I can't say I listen to contemporary Arabic songs, although I have liked some of the songs that you've shown me. There is it's like a retro artist. I don't know if any of you guys know it. Maybe your dads know, or your moms know.
هيقول عندليبة.
Let me see. I forget his name. Yeah, I just found this guy when I was looking through like retro disco international kind of type vibe.
If this retro dead person copyright me, I'll fuck him up. I'll fuck him up.
Alright. Do you know about Hamid El Shairi? Shairi?
Ahmed Shairi?
Yeah, that's it.
No.
It's a bot. It's an interactive bot. Okay? If any of you guys are into this, that's a W right there.
Dude, he's definitely gonna copyright me.
Anyways, I know that guy. I've known quite a few songs of his. I like his music.
American Japanese mix is special. So how did your family meet each other?
My dad, he worked in animation. He was with Fox in Arizona at the time. He moved to Sydney because the studio in Fox closed down. He got a job offer at Disney. I'm sure most of you guys probably know about Disney. So there was a studio.
He just called you desert monkeys.
You guys have movies in Egypt and stuff, right? He got a job offer in Sydney to work at Disney, and like obviously Disney being really big, I was like sure, and he was young at the time, so I was like I'll move over here. So that's why he was in Sydney in Australia. My mom, a little more complicated. After graduating college in Japan, she kind of did a lot of traveling. She went to England, Canada for a bit. She kind of mainly learning English and then also like doing a bit of work. And then she moved to Sydney, kind of doing the same thing. And then at the time, she got a job as being a travel agent. Like she still is actually a travel agent, so she's been doing it for like many years. But yeah, so that's why she got there. And then both my parents met playing tennis. Basically, they were in a group tennis lesson and they met each other doing that, and I guess it led to one thing.
Doomed humanity forever. A situation or something that happened with Mustafa that made you think in yourself, oh, that's a good friend.
Ooh.
Never. He's an asshole.
I don't know this guy actually. I mean, there's a lot of events that kind of built up our friendship, I'd say. Like being two guys in the international, like not just the international village, but in the community, having fun and like doing things that like getting up to like maybe a little bit of trouble, but like not really being worried about the consequences. I guess like we haven't really been in trouble. Well, maybe this guy a little bit.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. Recently, just like the last week of this last semester, I had a project where I had to do a lot of 3D printing. All the 3D printers in the design building was all used.
You might have talk about dog.
Yes, I am. So I was spending a lot of time in the engineering building because I was taking a class with the engineering students. The class this guy's gonna take next year, so I'm technically above him right now.
Yeah.
So anyway,
he's a design major. You
Uh-huh.
talk about that. So
Yeah.
he just like sand stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was helping his seniors, his bosses, his big boys, helping them out with the project, and I got in trouble with the 3D printing. The head man, because I put a sticker on the 3D printer just to put my name on there to say, oh yeah, I was printing here. Apparently the sticker, it didn't take off easily, and I didn't know that, right?
And the 3D printer is like a couple of $100.
Anyway, I put my name there, and apparently it wouldn't take off easily, and then the guy got all upset and everything. He took my 3D prints and put them into his office and sent me a bunch of like angry emails saying me like to meet up in his office and stuff. And so me and Mustafa went up to his office and like, sorry sir, it was just a mistake, I won't do that again. Everything, and like we're both pleading and everything, and then
ما تقتلنيش ما تموتنيش ما تخطفنيش ما تاكلنيش.
And then somehow, dog, this guy, the professor, he's like, oh yeah, no, that's alright. I mistook you guys for some bad kids and everything, but you guys seem alright. And I was like, oh, thanks. So we won't do it again, I swear.
Dude, traumatized
It was
me.
terrifying.
No, the thing is, he will not see him again. I see him in the building all the time. And I'm just terrified of him now.
He was mad for like no reason, for a little sticker on a 3D printer, and he got so mad. Took my 3D prints and everything. He understood the situation and like made sure that we didn't escalate it, and made sure that that dog, like, who was already like fuming, that we kind of calmed him down a little bit so he could actually get my 3D prints.
So I usually, if it's me related, I'll probably joke about it. But I was like, sorry sir, please don't kill him. He's just a design student that doesn't know any better. Anyways, I'll tell you something. When I'm having any ideas, I talk to Jonah and we just make it happen. When I started the YouTube, I wanted a microphone holder. So we hibernated in the design lab for 3 days. We made it happen. Whenever anything, like I'm wrapping my car, for example, Jonah's there to help. Do you read the comments in Mustafa's videos? Are you gonna read them for this video?
Definitely for this one, I've read most of them, I would say. Dude, I try and watch all his videos, but like, the translation, because I have the auto-translate captions and it doesn't work well with Arabic, so it's a little difficult to like, to follow along, but I usually get the idea of what everyone's saying and everything. If you guys have any comments about me and stuff, I'll make sure to read them.
How do you feel when Mustafa talks in Arabic? I feel scared. I feel traumatized. No!
Take off of me!
How do you feel when Mustafa starts speaking in Arabic, either recording a video or talking to his family?
I know like the idea of like the Arabic language. So I knew a few kind of Arabic people back in Sydney. Sydney's a very diverse city, especially like definitely like the tongue and throat like rolling sounds, like the and the and stuff like that. Yeah. It's difficult for like English speakers to say because we don't use like our throats and our like chest to speak words. So, but it's also kind of like funny, and that's definitely one thing you pick when Arabic people are speaking to each other. It's like the I think it's cool when different people speak the different language.
You speak English, Japanese, and Australian? Australia speaks
Australian.
But it's
Yeah,
okay.
Australian is English. It's a different accent. There's different like slang words that we use.
Say lads.
Lads.
Mate.
Yeah, mate.
Oi.
Servo for like petrol station or gas station. It's kind of more British, but then there's like some words that they also make up. Yeah, I'm like a city boy, so I'm not really deep into like Australian slang and anything. Like I definitely know a couple. If you're trying to get like super authentic Australian, that's where like a country, you know, like go down servo, run down the lift and stuff like that. Yeah.
You speak Japanese too, huh?
What you know?
Egyptian food you want to try. I don't know if he knows Egyptian food though.
I know I've had Lebanese food quite a bit. I'm trying to think if Egyptian food. I'd have to look. I'm sure I've had something, but in Australia, there's a pretty big Lebanese population. That's the most like common Arabic like ethnicity, I would say. I could be wrong, but it shouldn't be too different.
What would you think this tastes like?
I see a chili, so it looks pretty spicy. Beans and stuff, vegetables. I'm thinking like fibery, spicy.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
My opinion, it tastes like shit. But this is like the Egyptian national food. So.
Okay, what's it called?
Koshari.
Kashari, okay.
Describe Mustafa in one word.
Oh. That's probably the most difficult question yet.
I'm watching. You're in my room.
I'll do one better, one letter. G.
I'll take it.
Can it be 2 words?
I guess.
I'll do 2 words. Strong-minded.
I'll take it. You can guess. You could have said just asshole.
You're not an asshole. You can be, but no, that won't define you.
Do you want to visit Egypt?
Of course, I definitely want to. The only person that's like in my family that's been to Egypt is my grandparents. They went to Cairo and saw the pyramids and all that in Giza. So I'd like to go there as well. I know it's probably a big tourist destination. So if you're being my tour guide, I'd like to see like other areas, preferably not just sand dunes and stuff. I don't know if there's like driving around sand dunes. If that's cool and
we
stuff.
go to Cairo and we get it's sad that it's just like held a knife to your throat.
Maybe not that part, but
no,
for sure I definitely want to come to Egypt and stuff. It's a different. I've never been to an Arabic country before, so I'd like to go.
What was your opinion about Arabs before you met Mustafa and after you met Mustafa? Before I met Mustafa, they were good people. They were very nice. After I met Mustafa, they were fucking terrible.
Arabs, man. Before I met Mustafa, like Arabs that I did know from Sydney. I mean, they're kind of similar. They're very like outgoing, loud, but like not in a bad way necessarily. Like a lot of them are friendly, energetic, I would say. They love to eat, they love the food. And also like playing myself, I played football growing up, so there's a lot of international people playing football, including like Arabs and stuff, so they were big into football. Pretty positive, honestly. Like obviously there's stereotypes about like the terrorists and stuff like that, but I don't really give a shit about any of that. So yeah, I know there's good Arabic people out there. So
that is good.
So,
it's not. It's not that. It's not a status quo, but like
they exist. They're not this guy right here. After that's like a bigger sample size. There's more people versus like one here. Like Mustafa's almost. I don't even know. Well, I do associate with him with like Arabic people, but he's like his own figure, I guess. Like I don't really base the whole culture based on just one guy right here. So.
And that's a good thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is saving.
If I did, you.
Okay, fuck you. What's the best 3 qualities that you liked in Mustafa?
Best 3 qualities. Oh,
I'll tell you سالك وطيب ومتربي أحسن تربية.
Alright, like I understand that, yes. One, definitely like outgoing, not afraid of like saying things and the consequences of doing things and stuff like that. Just like being genuine, I guess. Maybe that's two. So outgoing, genuine, super fun to hang out with, I guess. Like always energetic and down to do things.
A country you would like to travel to with Mustafa?
With Mustafa. Of course, if I'm going to Egypt, which I hope to do at some point, he has to be there, right?
I don't want to know.
You're just gonna leave me in Egypt?
Yeah. Will your parents teach you swimming? At least that's how my parents.
Oh, they just throw you in the pool.
That's how I'm teaching you.
So definitely that. If I had to pick another one, maybe France, low key. That would be hilarious.
The stories are insane.
It's a long story.
Yeah, I would like to go to Australia.
For sure.
But the thing is, I have my. So show your passports. So I have this very poor passport that can barely get me to the toilet.
Oh, sorry, that's so heavy. Oh. Let me just flex on everyone here. Look at that.
3 nationalities: Japanese, American, and Australian.
Mhm.
Shit is insane.
We got United States of America, Australia, and Japan. Right here, baby.
And I have my Egyptian one that barely it can't get me to the toilet. I
If
need
he's
a
lucky,
visa.
if he's
I
lucky.
need a visa for every other place though.
وفي انتوا جايبيني هنا عشان تهزقوني ولا ايه؟
With that said,
Yeah.
Egypt is still the coolest country in the world.
Oh,
You know
oh,
that,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's literally the best. Dude, we enslaved everybody. We definitely enslaved Asians and white people.
I don't know if you forgot about like World War One and World War Two,
Well,
and like being invaded about 50 times
Anyway, what do you think about the Arab community in America?
in America.
See, personally,
Yeah.
I'm not
No, you-
influential
Yeah, go
answer in
ahead.
any way. I fucking hate them. I had a full video about that. I don't like Arab people here, and you
Yeah.
know that.
I've heard what you said before, but I definitely think Arab people in Australia is much better than Arab people here. Not saying like individual people wise, but like a community wise, it feels more authentic in Australia. I don't know if it's because it's more Arab people there.
Anything is more authentic than here.
Yeah, it does feel fake. Like either born from like an Arabic country, which that's the case with most of them. Is like they might know a little bit of Arabic, but not much. So then it feels disconnected, but they also associate themselves. So it's like while you're not from there, like you don't have much of a connection. You try and associate yourself. It's a little awkward, I guess, is the best way to explain it.
Do you think Egyptians are funny from knowing Mustafa?
Oh yeah, sure. Every Egyptian that ever exists is so funny.
No. There is a thing about Egyptians between Arabs. They call them light-blooded. Light-blooded means they're very funny. They're always laughing, even if there is trouble. They joke about it and stuff like that.
That's an Egyptian.
That's Egyptian stereotype between Arabs.
Right.
So he's asking about that.
I mean, the only Egyptian person I know in person. So I have seen like online, maybe bits and pieces of like Egyptian people, culture, and stuff like that has happened. It's always like usually funny stuff. Like I've seen a lot of like funny.
He's talking about the Spider-Man.
What? Spider-Man? Whoa! Why do you lie?
From knowing me.
From knowing you, obviously, like yeah. I can't say that you're the same as everyone else. I highly doubt that. So he's a very special guy. That's why I like him.
I'll take it. What's the funniest thing that ever happened with you guys both? He's talking
Between
about
us two?
The funniest.
The funniest thing.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
many.
there is so many. There is so many.
Dude, I can't answer that question. There's too many. There's too many. I can't pinpoint one thing that would be super funny.
I think 2 minutes ago when we were filming the introduction, that was hilarious. طيب في الفيديو ده يا رجالة عن
That was pretty funny, yeah. This, like, one time, we went through, like, the biology building and just, like, went into places you're not supposed to go.
Are you afraid from Mustafa bombing the door? That's a genuine question. It's over here.
Bombing the door. Dude, I'm terrified. Every night I go to sleep, like, waiting to hear the airplanes flying overhead.
Do you work?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Not currently.
He's a full-time student.
Yeah. I mean, thing with like international students, when you study abroad, unless you do there's like some international program with your school, especially US school with 0 credits, so that means you have to take all these like random basic classes basically, and you're always like fully I've been taking like 18, 19 credits every single semester since being here, and it's so busy. Whereas like people like from the US and stuff who come into college already with like credits. Like they have these classes already finished in high school. Basically, like it frees up so much more time, so they can actually like either have a job or do other different things and stuff. So since being here, no.
Yusuf is asking you, can you pass me one of your 3 nationalities, citizenships?
You'd have to ask the government about that. I don't know if that's possible. You probably don't look a lot like me, so.
This girl is nice. So Malek wrote it in English, so I don't need to brain explode.
Let me read that then. From Malik.
Malek.
Malik.
Malek or Malik? Let me see if her picture is a guy. Dude, I have no idea if that's a guy or a girl.
Well, anyway, Malik. Since his mother is Japanese, is he familiar with the Japanese culture? If yes, what are your top 5 anime, manga, novels? Yeah, so my mother's Japanese. I didn't say this before, but I also lived in Japan for about 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years. I went to basically kindergarten.
And you also didn't say that you lived in Australia basically your whole life, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, one grew up in Australia, but when I was 4 or 5, somewhere around there, I moved to Osaka, Japan, which is where my mom's from, and then we stayed there, living there together. So I went through like school and stuff. I was at that point in my life, I was more fluent in Japanese than English. My mom still only speaks to me in Japanese, so that's basically how I continue to speak in Japanese. And when I came back from living in Japan to Australia, I also went to Japanese school and stuff. And so that's definitely a yes. With anime, manga, and novels, I would have to say I was definitely...
Okay, before you say anything, you cannot really say... Go to the anime. Go to the anime. At least in my room, what are you doing?
For those who don't know, this is an authentic Japanese figure. I got this like last Christmas for Mr. Mustafa. And
you should have said a birthday gift.
Same with the poster. That was this year's. So I've seen I'm just not good with TV shows in general. So One Piece, I've seen a few episodes. I don't know how many, but I haven't like finished it. I'm not close to finishing or anything.
I finished it like 3 times.
Yeah. There's so many. So I'm just not that dedicated for TV shows in general. So I can't watch something big like that. But I have seen like Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan. I have. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There's a lot of animes and like manga. I used to read more manga. I don't really read manga anymore. I used to read like more like kid stuff. So like Inazuma 11.
Inazuma 11 is not kid stuff. Fuck you if you say Inazuma 11 is kid stuff.
I still think it's good.
Inazuma 11 is Abtal al-Kolo.
Like I said before, like I grew up playing football, so that plus Japan, like I played football in Japan, so I was super hyped with that anime. I read the manga, all that. I even had the game on my little DS.
Attack on Titan. Inazuma 11.
I really like One Piece. I just don't have the time to finish it. And
not really a big anime guy.
I'm not, honestly. I'm not. I'm not a big TV show guy, so I just haven't seen too many. Right now, I'm big into running. I watched a running anime. I don't know. You guys can laugh, whatever. But
I did. I had the most strange face ever.
There's a show called Running with the Wind. I'm big into running, so I really like that. I haven't seen a lot of the big ones. Like I haven't seen like Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't seen Dragon Ball, which I know probably a lot of guys like.
Isn't in Japan if you don't like watch Dragon Ball by the time you're 4 they execute you?
No, I'm still alive, so not quite. But Japanese culture I love. Like I go back pretty much every year. It's just unmatched, really.
Egyptians, but
no.
When you travel, what citizenship did you travel with? The American for most, right?
Definitely the American passport I use the most, but whenever I'm entering a country, if I'm entering Australia, I use my Australian passport. If I'm entering Japan, Japanese passport, because it allows me to stay there. Like I'm not on a visa basically, so I can stay there for however long I want. I can skip all the airport lines and stuff like that. It's just much quicker.
It's so nice. Like, anyways,
skill issue.
Why didn't you study in Japan, not in the US?
The reason I came here was to experience the US college system with like, there's just a lot of community, like school life basically. There's a lot of events. Like I'm big into sport. There's a lot of sports, especially with Kentucky. It's a big sports school, so that's kind of why I came here.
Make him eat فسيخ or dance عقبة. Okay, I'm not gonna even explain what فسيخ is. It's insane.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't like فسيخ, but I like ringa, which is pretty close. It's like a pickled fish.
Pickled fish.
pickled fish.
Interesting.
You just put lemon on it and you put something called tahina and you just
That seems
put it in
very
the sandwich.
like salty sour. I don't know.
Yeah, he said make him try that, and I was like, where the fuck can I get
Yeah,
that?
where would you get that here?
And they make him dance aqaba, and I'll be like, I already did that freshman year. Yusuf Ahmed saying, how are you so lucky to meet somebody as cool and as awesome as Mustafa?
Am I not as cool and as awesome as Mustafa?
No.
No?
No!
So you're here and I'm down here?
Dude, okay.
No.
Humanity, Mustafa. It's just
And
a
then
thing.
me.
Sure. Have you ever thought of leaving America and going to the Gulf?
I mean, to like travel for like tourism, sure. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about like the different attractions around that area. Like obviously Egypt. I don't know, if there's cool things to see, I'm down to see it basically.
Al Harith is asking something that makes you keep going every day.
Future success, I guess. I feel like that's kind of a basic answer, but I'm in the grind now so that it'll be better later.
When is the first time that you dated somebody? And do you know that the Arab countries do not touch a woman except the one that they marry?
So the
So did
question
you know
is,
that?
I know there's a lot of strict like boundaries between girls and guys.
Don't look at me, just don't look at me. What? What?
I didn't say anything. Anyway.
So when was the first time you dated somebody?
First time I dated someone was in 11th grade. So I was, I think 16.
How do you choose toilet paper over a bidet shower? You fucking retard. From
Okay.
Anas.
I don't have anything against bidet. Japanese people actually use bidets. So I have used them.
So it's just a matter of it's
I
not
just-
available.
Pretty much, yeah.
From Abdurrahman Al-Raish and Sofia, what do you think about Palestinian conflict?
We're getting into the reasoning. Like I know the reasoning for the war kind of stems back to World War II, and I think it's like the whole like United Nations, like them creating a country that in a country that already exists is like totally wrong. It's not a surprise that something like this has happened because of that. That's messed up, but at the same time, I can't.
Do not button.
No,
Do
no,
not
no,
button.
no,
You're
no,
gonna
no, no,
put
no.
us in trouble.
I'm saying, I just don't want war to be the solution, I guess. Because as soon as war happens, it's not good for either sides. And
I'm telling you, there is an easy way.
Like
Pack up
what?
and leave. Not you.
oh yeah, I know. The reasoning behind the war, the whole situation is messed up. I'm totally against that, and how the Israeli people were thrown into Palestine basically, and they made their own country. That's messed up. But I also don't think that everyone should be dying because of that.
What do you think about Mustafa's manners?
Manners? Interesting question. I don't know if I'd let Mustafa date my daughter, is what I'm saying.
Okay, fuck you. Okay, I need to fix my No, I cannot fix anything. You know, deep down, I'm a very, very, very nice guy. Please.
Of course, buddy, of course.
When you traveled outside the country, what's the craziest thing that happened to you? Like,
So many things. Like, I've been to a lot of countries. I remember when I went to Vietnam, they were into like eating like exotic animals basically. So there was this whole market of crazy shit. Like you would see snakes, you'd see, I remember this one
Cockroaches?
image,
Do we have-
probably. And this is a place where they would eat dogs and stuff like that. And
well.
This is Vietnam, my guy. I'm not from Vietnam. And I'm not saying all Vietnamese people are like that. It's just this market. They have it there. It's not illegal. To keep him fresh, they would keep him alive. Although at times, if it had like a skin and you didn't eat the skin, like say snakes or frogs, they would skin him off, so they'd be left like bloody and like pink. It looked disgusting, and like they'd have veins and like blood and everything, and they'd be like gasping for life, and it'd be like squirming around. And,
Okay.
okay. It was insane. Anyways, that was a market that I experienced in Vietnam.
Being half Asian, have you ever seen racism?
Of course. I feel like I feel like if you ever go to a place where you're a minority, you will experience racism.
I didn't.
The thing is, you, as someone as a minority, you have to just kind of brush it off or just either not care about it or like hit back, I guess, in a way that isn't gonna hurt yourself. But anyway, even in Australia, I am half Asian, but appearance-wise, I probably look a little more Asian, like based on just my mom having more genes connecting to me, but...
Yeah, you have XX both from your mom.
Sure, buddy.
My bad.
Anyway, so because I look more Asian, obviously there's like some racism growing up, and it's more of like a growing up thing. Like as a kid, kids don't like have filters and stuff, so a lot of times they'll just say stuff, and you get bullied more as a kid than as an adult.
I don't have a filter too.
Yeah, well, this kid bullies me all the time. He's a piece of shit, so... No, I'm just kidding. Like, at this point, racism is almost like a joke. It's funny. We mess around with it because it's humorous. It's like, it doesn't bother us, and we kind of like...
And that's how we deal with it in Egypt.
Exactly. You like change the meaning of it from being like actually like hurtful to like a joke and being funny. It's like you mess with your friends and you make racist jokes because it's funny.
From Dream Tech, what's the special factor within Mustafa that made you accept him and him becoming your friend? Well, let me tell you that Dream Tech, I accept people doesn't accept me. I'm not his friend, he's my friend.
I was worthy.
Get this right. Go ahead.
That being said, I think we started out as like mutual friends, so I knew him through one of my other friends, understood his personality and like how outgoing and like kind of more adventurous. Like I'm an adventurous person, I like doing things, and he kind of fit the same idea.
So from Waz asking, what's your religion?
I'm a Christian, Catholic to be specific. My mom wasn't as a Japanese person. It's mostly Buddhist there, but married my dad, she became a specific Catholic, and then I grew up in a Catholic school. I'm also like super interested in religion in general. Like I took classes studying all kinds of world religions, including like Islam and stuff. So
what do you think of Islam?
All like world major religions have a good basis of like ethics and principles, and that includes Islam, and that's why like I see it as a different perspective from maybe a lot of people of like being racist to like Muslim people, is because I understand like the actual like teachings, the meanings behind like Islam as a religion. To answer the final question, I see myself being a sportswear designer. Getting my coffee in my engineering company. He is a design major, right? So basically, I mean, for example, running shoes or football boots, athletic gear, performance-based equipment. If it's football, let me show them this. Football boots.
Every sport,
Boxing could be one.
every sport have its own shoes that support what you do. So this is running shoes.
There's a lot of technical stuff, like the more racing oriented like running shoes, there's so much technology in there. Materials are so important, weight, everything. Boxing, obviously like the fit of it, being close to your foot shape and everything. Ankle support too.
Ankle support. This
Grip.
is for the pivots.
Pivot, yeah.
Pivots and stuff.
It's like,
So everything, I found out that recently. It's very fascinating.
yeah.
But
That's something that really interests me. Whether or not I'm doing that, who knows, but location-wise, I could work anywhere in the world. I don't really mind. I like traveling, so
is Mustafa your best friend or is that somebody else?
definitely.
Papa! Allah! Allah!
Psych!
If you want to visit any Arabic country, what country would it be?
Technically, I have been to the airport of Dubai. That's the only Arabic place I've set foot in. I have breathed in the air of Dubai, so that counts, kind of. But anyway, if I had to choose one,
What was the only one right answer?
I'm sure you'd like me to say Egypt. Egypt is definitely in the top 5.
Not even top 3?
Okay. I'll put Egypt top 3. I don't know much about Saudi Arabia.
Saudi is going insane, dude. I want
know.
to go to the Riyadh season, like the Befallen Better Beef fight.
Dude, there's so many events going on.
No.
The Italian Super Cup is in Saudi Arabia somewhere. Maybe Riyadh. There's so much stuff going on there. It'd be cool to go there, I guess, to maybe see some things going on, but...
The second biggest audience I have is from Saudi.
There you go, people from Saudi.
So, Egypt or Saudi first?
Culture-wise, I'd have to say Egypt because it's just more history. I like history. Egypt has like about the deepest history out of anyone. right now they suck ass, but they were great.
So this guy asked me to show you some Arabic beat. We're done with the questions. Marwan Bablo. Yalla ya ring.
Before we play the song, I have a question for you guys. Is what is the most popular like genre of music in like Egypt or other Arabic countries? I guess.
I'll show you.
If it, because I've heard like a lot of rap and holy auto tune.
This shit is good.
I've heard better.
This is the shit that you would listen to, at least when I lived there, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. This is the shit that you would listen to in like, you know what tuk-tuk is? This is like shit music, but it hits so hard, man.
This shit's catchy. Like, you can dance to this shit, man. What the fuck is it?
Thank you so much, Mr. Jonah. That was awesome.
Thank you.
It's a lot of fucking editing. It's 80
Yeah,
minutes
good luck
of
with that.
footage. No, 100 minutes of footage. An hour and 40 minutes. It's disgusting. بس شكرا على المشاهدة. وهو ده كان الفيديو. الشخص اللي هيجي بعد كده هو دام. Dom is the next person. So Dom is from the Dominican Republic. His name is Dominic. So ask him questions in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching. Can you say اطلع برا?
اطلع برا.